Greetings and salutations, my artsy friends. How is everyone today? So good, I hope. So good. I am raring to go. Good morning, Keels. How are you? Oh, who else is here? So this morning I asked you to gather all of your orange mediums. And the reason that I asked that was so that we could, well, we're going to do a couple of fun things. Let's see, I'm not seeing let's see if I can see Good morning, Patricia. Good morning, Susan. So that we can, so you had choices. I just started with my Daniel Smith cadmium orange hue. I just haven't used this in a long time, and so I was like, you know what, I'm pulling that out. Oh, yay, Keels. Drive safe. Drive safe. We'll be here. Right? We will be here. So today we are trying to see if I can blow it up, but I can also see the comments. Yikes. That doesn't seem to be working. There we go. There we go. Okay. So today we are going to be doing our own version of Orange Shirt Day, the National Day for Truth and Reconciliation, honoring Indigenous children who were forced into residential schools and acknowledging the lasting impacts on the survivors of residential schools and their communities. You know, it started out as a Canadian holiday, but I believe that we are celebrating it in the States now. At least my family in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan is, and I believe any of those states that are right along the Canadian border do. I'm thinking it might be nationwide now, but I'm not exactly sure. I will say, while traveling through Canada, there are Orange Shirt Day posters and signs and acknowledgments everywhere. Stores sell orange shirts everywhere. It's crazy. Good morning, Sue. It's crazy cool that there's that much acknowledgement, you know? Anyway, it's an annual day dedicated to remembering the painful legacy of residential schools. They were a scourge everywhere. Ironically, my great-grandmother was in a residential school, and it was awful, as you can imagine. Any time that you are pulled away from your family by someone who thinks that they can raise you better, you can imagine the trauma of that. And the reason that it's an orange shirt is it was inspired by a young girl named Phyllis Jack Webstead, whose orange shirt was taken away on her first day at a residential school in 1973. That's within our lifetime. And so I believe Phyllis was, I need to research this more, but I believe that Phyllis was pretty instrumental in starting this movement. Anyway, but today, we want to see the orange as a sign of hope and reconciliation and commitment to a better future, right? Let's focus on that. So, I said to gather a bunch of different orange mediums. because that's a way we honor the best, right? By making art. So, like I said, I just have, so we're going to paint with, you can paint with all shades of orange, one shade of orange, whichever you choose. But then we're also going to create a bunch of little images representative of all those children. So I chose circles. You could choose lines, you could choose squares, you could, whatever, do you know what I mean? Whatever kind of speaks to you. So I am, turn that around. So I'm just going to fill my page with orange circles. And we are going to really take our time creating those circles, filling those circles in, or squares, or whatever you're choosing to fill your page with. I mean, there's lots of icky stuff out there that happened, but let's choose to focus on hope. That never happens again. I think I want one of these to be a little bit bigger. Yeah. Kind of digging that, like all the different sizes. Aesthetically, that's making me happy. Anyway. There we go. So, you guys know the drill. If you have, if you haven't already done so, if you would follow, comment, share, all the things on on the following social media platforms, and Corbiere-Scott Designs Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Golly, I would greatly appreciate it. And then for all things Ann and Artsy, go to Corbiere-Scott-Designs.com. And then ask to join our 2 private Facebook groups, Stitch Along with Ann and Ann Corbiere-Scott Designs Facebook group. Those are different than, this is a Facebook page. I'm going to turn this. So I have a little, I'm coming at it from a little bit different angle. I'm hoping that, there we go. I took this class called Watercolor for Relaxation, and this is indicative of that same practice. Just really taking my time. And I wanted to use my Daniel Smiths because I haven't used them in a very long time. And painting with tube watercolors is a little bit different than a pan of watercolors. Good morning, Kathy. Let's get some bigger circles. It's lovely to just have this slow practice, you know. I think I might just stick with this one color. I pulled out so many orange watercolors because that's what the medium that I chose. But please, you can use a gel marker, you can use a colored pencil, you can use a crayon, whatever you know, whatever you're feeling this morning. You guys, am I live? Can you see me? Because it's swirling on my screen. So tell me if it's, I think we should be. It looks like it's live now, so let's hope so. One kind of off the edge. That's kind of cool. It's a little bit bigger. Oh, sorry, Valerie. There, is that better? I am out of focus. Sorry about that, you guys. Let's see if I can. I think I'm better here. You know what? Because I'm focused. Oh, stinking. I'm telling you right this minute. Stinking Facebook. I am. You know what happens in the morning? I'll tell you exactly what happens. I start to, I do stuff like right up until the last minute, right? And then I, and then it's the last second. And so I know I have to go live. And so I'm hurrying to get it together. And I have 2 Facebook accounts. Hi, Nance. I'm glad you can see me and hear me. And one is my business and one is my personal. And sometimes in the morning, I look to see like what's going on with my family. Like I have a cousin who is a principal of a high school in Sault Ste. Marie. And she and her staff, the women in her staff, all wear ribbon skirts, which is a traditional piece of clothing for Native women, like a traditional modern take on traditional Indian clothing, Indian women clothing. So they all have their orange shirts on with their ribbon skirts, and she just made hers. It's so pretty. So I was looking at that, and then I hurried up and came over here, got everything set up, but I'm still I'm coming live from my personal account instead of my business account. Whatever. So I hope that you are just filling a page with orange, with little bits of orange over and over and over again. And then when we're all done, we will write Every Child Matters. Somewhere on our page, we will find a place to write Every Child Matters. I have to say, this is quite therapeutic. You know what I mean? And every now and again, I get this moment where I'm like, I want to hurry up and fill this or that, or, you know, I want to be further along in my Good Morning, Roseanne, on my filling my page, and then I'm like, nope, that's not what it's about today. Today it's about just relaxing and just this slow progression of filling the page. Do you know what I'm saying? So artists that I am listening to currently, that would be Cat Stevens. Oh my gosh, I love Cat Stevens. He got me through lots of trying times in my life because his music is so emotional, you know? So if I was feeling particularly blue, and this, my husband never understood this. If I was feeling particularly blue, I would listen to Cat Stevens, because then I could just kind of wallow in my blueness for a little while. And he was like, why would you choose to be sad? And I'm like, well, it's not that. I'm just kind of, what do I want to say? It's like I want to process my feelings. Oh no, I'm going to cover the whole page, Valerie. The whole page. Boys just don't understand that. Sometimes girls just need a good cry. I don't know, it's somehow cleansing, isn't it? Let's see. Kind of like after it rains, you know? I know, Cat Stevens. Oh my gosh, I was just telling somebody this. I think it might have been Keely and Peggy. I used to babysit for this family. Well, my sister and I were talking about it too. I used to babysit for this family, and their house was kind of a little bit of a hoarderish house. But I loved going there because they had the most amazing vinyl collection. And so I would just, please, after that baby went to bed, I would just listen to album after album after album. Anyway, Tea for the Tillerman, that was one of the albums that they had. Oh my gosh. I listen to that over and over and over again. But the one I listen to the most, and it's funny, I have it in so many iterations, is Cat Stevens' Greatest Hits. I started out with it as an album, which I still have. A cassette tape, a CD, and now I have it on my Apple Music. Isn't that crazy? I listen to them on Spotify. I listen to, you know how we do. I will say, I think, lucky us, we had the best music, didn't we? The best bands, the best music. Still a great big one right here. You know, it happens every day. Which one is your favorite, Sue? Tea for the Tillerman or Greatest Hits? I kind of love them both. Every day about this time, is it 9:30? It's very close. And they hang up. There we go. Go figure. We just need a good cry, Nance. And it's not... I know, there's something about it, isn't there? And once I do, then I can move on. I've got Peace Train in my head. Tea for the Tillerman. Oh my gosh, I just loved that album. Oh, they had so many amazing albums. Like they loved Burton Cummings. Remember Burton Cummings? Oh, I listened to all of his music. And I'm trying to think who else was like big in their hit parade. They just had the best music. They did. Oh, for Orange Shirt Day, the National Day for Truth and Reconciliation for Indigenous children who were forced into residential schools. And you know, I when I went to art school, there was a boy that I was in my class. A boy. I mean, we were both adults by then. but he was in a residential school, and he told harrowing tales of that they, you know, they made him cut his hair, and they were beaten if they were caught speaking their native language, and for him it was Navajo. It was just, oh, just tragic. Just a tragic time. Elton John is my favorite, Sue. He is my favorite of all time. It can absolutely be healing, Nancy. There's something about it, isn't there? There's just something about a good cry. And it doesn't even have to really do with anything. It just kind of, sometimes it just all comes out, right? There's something about it. Yesterday, honest to Pete, you guys, I had to take my friend Shelley to the airport in Mesa, which is about an hour away from here. And so, but it was Monday, and that's usually my kind of my down day. And so I was just lounging around in my pajamas, and I went out on the back patio, and I was just drinking some water, and you know, just enjoying my backyard and the sunshine and the, you know, the birds and everything. And then I came inside, and I was just chatting with Shelley, and then my phone rang, and it was the dentist office, and said, "Anne, are you on your way?" I had completely forgotten that I had a dentist appointment. So I said, "No, I'm still in my pajamas." I've never done that before. Oh my gosh, so embarrassing. I was like, "I'm so sorry." So I'm going in October instead. Anybody else ever do that? Last week you had a good cry. I'm telling you, there's something about it, isn't there? There's just something about it. I think sometimes, like, there's all these things just built up inside of us or something. I don't know. Just life in general. Now I've got Tea for the Tillerman in my mind, Sue. I'm absolutely going to have to play that later on today. I wish that I could play music during our art classes. I do. I feel like I can go back and fill in with little orange dots as I go, but I think I want to kind of work on the bigger ones right now. At least that's what I'm kind of telling myself. Kind of getting in the flow state. Anybody else? Honestly, Valerie, I was so embarrassed. And you know what was sad? I was just having myself a time in my pajamas. So speaking of pajamas, so my sister turned me on to these pajamas from Walmart. called Joy Spun. Has anybody tried them? Oh, I want to get about 3 more pair. So they are the softest pajamas. And I'm not kidding you guys, they're like $12. They have nightgowns, they have shorty pajamas, they have full like long pants pajamas. They have long sleeve, short sleeve, you name it. Joy Spun, JOYSPUN. Oh, they're amazing. Get yourself some. You won't be sorry. And it's $12. Treat yourself for $12. This exercise is also, I mean, I'm thinking of the children, certainly. It's also very good for brush control. You really, because you're having to slow yourself right down. And concentrate on the size of your circles because you want them to fit within the other circles. So you're really working on your brush control, and that's a good thing. Oh my gosh, I know. And can I tell you, pajamas are something that I always have struggle with spending a lot of money on. I do. When we were in Kansas, Lindsay and I we went to Walmart because we had to buy like some snacks and stuff for the retreat. And I was telling her about the Joy Spun pajamas. And so we went and looked for some, but there wasn't anything that was kind of, on our hit parade. But I bet you she'll keep looking for them now. Oh, golly. Everybody take a drink, for pity's sake. Sorry about that. We're 35 minutes in and I'm just saying go take a drink of water. Goodness. I think I better take another one. Sorry about that. Cat Stevens, man alive, he's just in my noggin now. Thank you, Sue. I appreciate that. I was sure thinking about you when I was driving through Oklahoma on my way back from Kansas. Thinking about all my Oklahoma friends. I'm kind of liking the practice of creating with one color, I know, I hate buying pajamas. I need to love buying pajamas because I kind of love them. But I don't like spending a lot of money on them, which is stupid, right? You should have the nicest things to sleep in. But, and then when I find some, my sister and I were at my dad's. And we had to go to Walmart for something. And she was like, oh my gosh, check out these pajamas. I have so many nightgowns made out of this, by this brand. And so we both came back with new pajamas to my dad's house. He's like, what did you get? New pajamas. I spent the night in Oklahoma City. So, it was so pretty. I was in Midtown, which, oh my gosh, I loved it there. But I was sure thinking about you and Pam and Ruth and the whole gang. It was. Oh my gosh, you guys. I was thinking, so you know how I love Mending Beautifully. So I was listening to her. Her messages are always like things that you can absolutely like just do. So I don't know if it was yesterday's maybe message was, what would happen? What if you went outside right now and you just took a deep breath, like where you really were smelling the outside, and you so deep that you got as much of that smell in your that's in the air into your nostrils, have it go down your throat, through your heart, into your belly, and throughout your whole body, like a giant deep breath. And what if you did that? I wonder what might happen. So after class, let's all go outside and do that. Then we can talk about it on Thursday. What do you think? Anybody else game? I mean, you don't have to go outside for long, right? You can just go outside for a little minute. Were you? Oh, where were you on a retreat, Sue? I sure thought about you when I saw signs for Norman, Oklahoma. I'm trying to paint all the way around my little clip. I know. What could be finer, Nance? We all share this little moment, you know, of outside. I think that'll be fab. Okay, so I also have some homework for everybody for Thursday. So on Thursday, I need you to bring a couple of things to class. So you might need to go shopping for Oh, I drove through Ponca City too. Caw City. Okay. Okay, so on Thursday, I need you to bring a page from a magazine. So you might want to, and the page needs to have a person on it. Mine has a girl, because it'll be the most fun to embellish. And your paint pens. So your Poscas or whatever paint pens you have, like acrylic pens. Oh, stop it. I'm loving it. So those are the things you need for Thursday's class. You need a photo. You need a page from a magazine that has a person on it. Probably you'd have more fun with this assignment if it was a girl. It doesn't have to be. I'm just saying, although, you know what? You could absolutely do it with a boy too. Whatever, like, you're going to go through a magazine and find a person with an interesting face that you really kind of speaks to you. Oklahoma. Oh my gosh. When I was in Midtown, Sue, I went to the coolest stationery store. I stayed at the Ambassador, and like 2 or 3 doors down from that was this stationery store called Chirps and Cheers. Oh my gosh. It was the best. I loved it. They had the coolest selection of really cool pens and papers, and oh please, I had myself a time in there. Whatever, it could have a whole body. You'll love it. Just because it's something totally different than what we have normally done. I took a class, and then you know what? You know I have to share everything I learned with my artsy pals. We're nothing if we don't share. I could scrape the sides of my palette. These little wells in my palette. How am I doing on time? And it doesn't have to be a big face. It can be a small face. Just an interesting face that you see. Like, I see myself going back and adding some little dots. Do you know what I mean? As I go along, maybe after I'm done with all of the bigger ones. I don't know. There's something, I like that idea of like big ones and small ones and big ones and small ones. That's kind of making me happy. And we do a big circle here. Oh my gosh, you guys. I have this huge, crazy confession to make. So, when my child was little, like 2, their grandparents bought them a play kitchen. And that child is 31 now. And we kept that play kitchen forever because I did daycare in my house forever and a day. And then just when kids would come over, they loved playing in it. And I finally, our next door neighbor, remember Mabel? I told you about Mabel. Mabel had a granddaughter that lived with her. And so we gave the play kitchen and the doll bed. They were both little tykes. So, you know, they're just made to last, aren't they? To that little girl who is living at Mabel's house. Well, that little girl she's grown up now. I think she's in junior high, maybe. Anyway, it's a big trash pickup, and I saw that kitchen and that doll bed in the large trash pickup at Mabel's house. Oh my gosh, you guys. I just felt sad about it. I didn't even talk to Jeff about it. I just sat in my little feelings of sadness, and and then Jeff came home later and he goes, "Oh my gosh, did you see it? Did you see it?" I was like, "Yes, I did see it." Oh my gosh, we were both sad. And I go, "Does it make you want to go dig it out of the trash?" And he said, "Part of me, yeah." He goes, "I stopped and I kind of paused." He said, "But it had been in the backyard and it was all dirty. And it's also like 30 years old." And I said, I know. And in my head, I know that. I said, I just can't go out there until Big Trash picks it up and then I can move on. Is that crazy? Is that a crazy thing to mourn? Do you know what I mean? Oh, everybody, let's take a drink. I think I might need to add a little more of my... That was pretty big, right? I got quite a bit painted with my little tiny bit of... Like, I just add just a little bit of tube paint to the well in this palette. And then I'm just going to add some water. A little bit more. A little bit more. A little bit more. And then mix that up. And then I know that I'll continue to add water, like as I go along. It was just, it's crazy, Keely, that it hit us both. Like, we were both like, oh, somebody else didn't treasure it like we treasured it. Do you know what I mean? Like, it was just, and she shouldn't treasure it. Do you know what I mean? And when I gave it, I needed it to be like, that's that. It was just kind of a moment. Well, I'm doing all right. About halfway done. The best, I will just say, oh my gosh, they did serve their purpose. You're right, Nancy. You're right. Like so many children played with those in our home. Like years and years, and it got lots and lots and lots of love. You're right, and I need to think about it that way. And it's kind of funny because only Jeff and I think, understand why it was such a moment. He is off to Kentucky today. He and his friends are going a bourbon, I don't know if you call it like a bourbon tasting tour, or I don't know. They're going on some tours of different so these friends have bourbon tastings off, like they get together maybe like once a quarter, and they have a bourbon tasting. So everybody brings like a new bourbon or a favorite bourbon, or and there's not very many of them that participate in this anyway. So bourbon is kind of their love language. Anyway, they're excited. I just said, bring me a sticker. Mabel's granddaughter is like in junior high now. Maybe 6th grade. And I swear, I had a moment where I was like, maybe I should just go get it again. Just go dig it out of there and just bring it home. Or then I could take it someplace else to donate it. And then I thought, no, just leave it alone. You gave it, and when you give it, you have to just let it go. So Peg, you'll appreciate this. We are honoring Orange Shirt Day. So that's why we are painting or drawing or whatever with orange today. And then once we're going to fill our page with, you could do stripes, you could do squares, you could do, whatever, just like some kind of something that's kind of representative of all the children. And then we're going to write Every Child Matters on here in some kind of way. The party always waits for you, Peg. You know. I find myself I feel like all of my circles are I want them to be all different sizes, and I feel like I made a lot of big ones, so now I need to make a lot of small ones. I don't know. Composition wise. Do you know what I'm saying? So any magazines that you have, but I will say the best magazines for Thursday's activity are fashion magazines like Vogue. Do you know what I mean? Like those kinds of magazines. And they're a little bit spendy, but once you do this technique, you're going to want to do it more and more. Oh my gosh, you guys, I'm loving it. So remember, everybody needs to go outside and take a deep, deep breath. One that fills up your whole lungs and down your throat and fills your heart and into your belly and throughout your whole body, and find out what happens when you do that. And then let's talk about it on Thursday. That'll be a fun thing to do. And then we're going to learn a whole new artsy technique. Want to hear a crazy thing? I was on my phone in the middle of the night because I was awake. And obviously Lindsay was too, because she was like, hey, you need to go to bed. And I said, you too. Oh my gosh. We had a crazy conversation in the middle of the night. I have the Christmas store Thursday, so I'll have to watch the replay. Oh, what's the Christmas store? Is it at a school? That's the beauty of the replay, isn't it? So, Facebook, so last week when I went to transfer all of our videos to YouTube, I had a little bit of a challenge getting them moved. And so, just know that I figured out a way to save them back to my phone, and then I will take them from my phone and put them in the YouTube channel. Hi. They keep you on your toes, that Facebook. On your technical toes. So I will, it's looking like it's after 10. Of course it is. I will bid you adieu. But before I do that, I will say thank you for hanging with me, for painting orange on a page in your art journal, and just going along with all my crazy artsy ideas. I appreciate it more than you'll ever know. Thank you. And I will transfer this to YouTube. I'm going to try and do it right after class today and see if that works out better. I adore you all. Thank you so much. Talk to you soon. Like tomorrow in Stitch Along, and Thursday in right back here for Pop and Paint Party. Bye, everybody. Thank you.